The gashes on my feet from walking on these wires are getting infected, and they hurt more every day. It's so cold. It's 23 degrees tonight in Missouri, and I don't have a warm blanket to cuddle with. Will I ever get out of here? Will anyone ever hug me? Will anyone ever love me enough to give me a name? Or will I always just be a commodity to make someone money until my usefulness is gone, and then I'm destroyed? What you just witnessed is the reality for thousands of dogs living in puppy mills in the United States today. So what is a puppy mill? It is a commercial breeding facility that sells puppies to pet stores, the internet, or directly to the public, completely disregarding the dog's health, physical, both mental and physical, in order to maximize profits. According to the Humane Society of the United States, there are 10,000 of these facilities currently operating, producing 2.2 million puppies per year. Less than 3,000 are licensed. In 2010, the Office of Inspector General did an investigation which stated that enforcement was ineffective against problem dealers. Some of their photographs showed dogs with dental disease so bad their entire mouths were gone, chewed out. Puppies with their legs dangling from the crates, causing death, broken legs. A dog infested with ticks. Feeding bowls, crawling with roaches, open wounds, one so bad that the dog's exposed leg bones were showing. The Animal Welfare Act, which comes under the guidance of the USDA, says that the definition of adequate is left to the mill owner. There are no limit to the number of dogs allowed on the premises, no amount of staff that's required to care for them. Dogs can be kept in stacked cages with wire mesh their entire life in confined conditions, no required exercise or human interaction. Old or non-producing animals can be killed or abandoned. A female can be bred at her first heat and every heat after. There's no mandatory vet care. And a breeder can make a decision to do a procedure with no anesthesia. The current minimum guidelines require just 6 inches of space above the head and 6 inches above the nose their entire life. I'd like to share a story of a woman in Tempe named Nicole Gavin. She adopted her dog June, not realizing that June had spent the first 7 years of her life in a puppy mill. I saw June. Her legs were permanently deformed and bent forward from trying to walk on a metal crate. She had herniated discs in her back, mammary tumors, a terribly infected ear, and her front jaw was all but gone from dental decay. In this condition, June was forced to give birth over and over and over. When Nicole found this out, she investigated to see if there were any laws that were broken or any penalties, to find that no law at all had been broken. Everything that happened to June was completely legal. In July of 2009, I photographed puppy mill raid at Magic Pets Kennel in Meade County, Texas. According to the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, 496 dogs were seized that day. This is the housing where they were in, the metal hangar. It took the sheriff's department over 10 years just to get enough evidence to even give a warrant. They found dead dogs. And on the Magic Pet website, it said, "We offer quality pups with current vaccinations and shot records." When I went around back, some of the other horrors I immediately experienced: malnutrition, severe skin conditions. There was no water in a lot of the bowls on this sweltering, humid Texas summer day. Many of the dogs lived in plastic barrels. Here's a picture of a dead dog where rigor mortis had set in. When the rescue team went to document some of these animals, they were petrified of any human interaction. This puppy died 2 minutes after I took this picture. I asked the investigators on this team if this was the worst puppy mill they had ever been to. They shook their head and said, "Not even close." Not even close? How could it possibly be worse than this? I didn't want to know. Other than the dogs, there are other victims in these puppy mills. Consumers buy 6 puppies, and each of them spend thousands trying to get them better. U.S. taxpayers spend $2 billion per year to round up, house, euthanize, and dispose of unwanted animals. Let alone the 5 million cats and dogs that are killed every year in this country due to overbreeding. That's 1 every 6.5 seconds. How many died during this speech today? So what can you do? Whatever you do, never buy an animal at a pet store or online. If you do go to a breeder, ask a lot of questions. Ask to see both the mother and the father. And most importantly, adopt. This is a screenshot that I took of a website called petfinder.com. I like Yorkies, so I put in a search for Yorkshire Terriers, and these are just a very few of the adoptable pets right now in Phoenix that need homes. 25% of all dogs in shelters are purebreds. I'm wearing black today in memory of the millions of animals that are abused, unwanted, and destroyed, who sought only the most basic of human compassion, never to receive it. I would like to end with 2 of my favorite quotes. The first is by Mahatma Gandhi. It says, "The greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way its animals are treated." The second is by poet Maya Angelou, who says, "When we know better, we do better." These dogs went through this to increase profit. When you spend money on quality food, staff, or shelter, it cuts down on the profit margin. Now that we know better, let's all do better to prevent animal cruelty. Thank you.